Jimmy Fallon welcomes Sacha Baron Cohen. NBC Tonight.
She disappeared 7 years ago. We have no dates.
Clearly, you need my help.
We can't work with him or it's never going to end.
We're running out of time. I have to bring her home.
So, are we partners?
Found new next Thursday on NBC and Peacock.
Forgive me for skipping the pleasantries. I need your help. Someone here is trying to kill me.
He's a high-value target. Anyone could be after him. Until we find the killer, no one leaves.
The Irrational, new Tuesday on NBC.
Live from Rhinelander, this is News Watch 12 at 10. The Northwoods' best news with Jessica Jukic, meteorologist Chase Ropanak, and Saul Meyer with sports. News from where you live starts now.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukic. The Oneida County Highway Department has been approved to receive $8.3 million in federal funding that will go towards repairing county roads and bridges. The county will also be providing over $2 million in matched funds. Beginning in 2025, the Highway Department will be resurfacing sections of County Highways L, P, and W, along with replacing 3 bridges. Oneida County Highway Commissioner has seen the decades of wear and tear on these roads and believes it's time to improve them.
County Highway L, for example, used to be Highway 51 way back in the day. So it's definitely past its useful life. It's time to be resurfaced, and so this is just a perfect project for this funding.
Every few years, inspectors look for erosion, cracks, and alignment issues on the bridges. To be eligible for funding, bridges must receive a score of below 50 out of 100. Although structurally safe, all 3 bridges involved in those projects have gotten a score below 50.
Is very important for a lot of different reasons. You know, this is a huge tourist economy up here. The residents here, you know, we rely on deliveries, on commuting every day. Not many people get to walk to work, so everyone's driving on our highways. So it's important that we keep our infrastructure in a good condition.
The county plans to replace the Bearskin Bridge as part of the County Highway L project, along with replacing the bridges on County Highway C and D. These projects will take place over the course of 4 years and are expected to end in 2029. Chase, is it going to rain tonight?
Well, as we just took a look outside, we didn't see any rain falling just now, but on the radar it shows a big green blob over us. So it looks like we just got some verdure right now. For us in the Northwoods, maybe some light rain throughout the night tonight. That heavier rain is down south. But first, looking at the temperatures, we can definitely see that this front is in the area. As we can see, left side of the state is showing temperatures right now in the 40s. Right side is showing 50. So we're right now at that line where that front is just about to approach, right at 53 degrees here in town, all to the west, right around those mid-40s. Ladysmith at 46, Phillips at 46 as well, even some upper 40s down there near Diamond Lake and Medford. Down south, though, in Rome, right around 50 degrees, and that is where they are getting the heavier rain. A little bit of thunder still rumbling past La Crosse right now. That is losing energy, as we can see a lot of rain going to Wausau, but up here in the Northwoods, it's a little bit less energy, and that's why we're seeing, you know, just some very light to moderate showers right now. Maybe even still some verdure out there, as we just said. You know, rain has not been falling in the area just yet, but for tomorrow, the skies are going to clear. We're going to see mid-50s here in the Northwoods with some partly cloudy skies. Seeing that down in the southern viewing areas where temperatures can get up to right around 60 degrees in Adams County. As we take a look ahead to tonight, that front is going to keep us a little bit warm and above average with a low right around 42 degrees. Jessica?
A massive settlement has been reached in the deadly Baltimore bridge collapse. The owner and manager of the cargo ship that caused the collapse have agreed to pay more than $100 million in a settlement with the U.S. The Justice Department claimed that the electrical and mechanical systems on the ship, the Dolly, were not maintained correctly, which led to the ship losing power and crashing into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, killing 6 people. The collapse also paused commercial shipping through the Port of Baltimore for months before it was reopened fully back in June. 2 people were killed after a multi-vehicle accident in the township of Merrill. The 3-vehicle crash was reported just before 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Initial investigation suggests that a truck heading northbound crossed the center line, hitting an SUV that was heading southbound head-on. Another truck then struck the pickup that crossed the center line. The 79-year-old driver of the SUV and an 82-year-old passenger died at the scene. The 23-year-old driver of the pickup truck suffered critical injuries and was transported to Aspirus. The driver is expected to survive, and the other driver had only minor injuries. The school district apprentice is asking voters to pass a $1.2 million referendum on the November 5th ballot. If passed, the 4-year referendum funding will be used for operational maintenance expenses for student programming, maintenance, and staff salaries. Currently, the state funding formula allows the Prentice School District to receive $4.2 million in tax revenue, which was capped in 1993. This year's referendum would increase that to around $5.4 million. Senate candidate Eric Hovde was in Wausau tonight for a candidate forum. The Greater Wausau Chamber of Commerce hosted a candidate forum tonight at the Center for Civic Engagement at UWSP at Wausau campus. Several candidates had a few minutes to answer questions. Senator Tammy Baldwin was not in attendance because of a scheduling conflict, but candidate Eric Hovde spoke about his platform and answered questions about tax reforms for Wisconsin and economic development efforts in Wisconsin. Several other candidates were in attendance, including U.S. Congressional District 7 Congressman Tom Tiffany and his opponent Kyle Kilborn. A local church is asking for help. They want to ensure people around the world who have trouble walking have the help they need. Calvary Baptist Church in Rhinelander is holding a wheelchair drive this upcoming week. They're collecting wheelchairs and walkers to send to underdeveloped countries who otherwise would not have access to this type of equipment.
Johnny and Friends Wheels for the World have been going on for many years. They take any kind of wheelchair in any kind of condition, even wheelchair parts, and use those. They rehab those, bring them back up to specs, put new armrests on, and put new tires on, and whatever it takes to make them look just perfect again.
Wheelchairs start at Calvary Baptist Church, and they're then taken to prisoners where they can upgrade them. They will then be sent around the world to nations where people are sometimes toted around by cardboard and wheelbarrows or left in an immobile situation.
Oftentimes we find that people don't know what to do with that old wheelchair in the garage or up in the attic or down in the basement because it's just been sitting there, and we don't want to just throw it away, but we want to use it for a good cause. We want it to go to someone who really needs it.
The drive will begin 9 a.m. to noon on Monday and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday. The changing weather can cause a dip in mood. Coming up after the break, we'll have a look at the signs and symptoms of seasonal affective disorder after Weather with Chase right here on Newswatch 12.
Washington is corrupt. Senator Baldwin says she fights against Wall Street, and yet she lives with a Wall Street executive and gets all this money from Wall Street. She says she's standing up to Big Pharma and Big Tech, but look at the money she rakes in from Big Pharma, Big Tech, and their executives. Senator Baldwin doesn't work for you. She works for them. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. I'm not taking their special interest money. I'll only work for you.
Save big money with these hot deals at Menards. All prices after 11% rebate. Assorted soup mixes are just $3.49. 6-packs of Bubbler sparkling water, only $5.49. 16 packs of Energizer batteries are $7.99. 2 packs of hand or foot warmers, only 29 cents. Plus, sign up in store for a chance to win a GMC Sierra. Hurry, these hot deals won't last long. Sign up for Menards emails to get more big savings right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Look at how soft your towels are, Grandma.
Soft water really helps with that, and the soap savings really adds up. Did you know that it's less expensive to heat soft water than it is hard water?
Wow, that's great savings and good for the environment. Having good water does make a big difference in our family.
Speaking of family, look who it is.
Any service tech servicing your water equipment, call us at Maher's today.
What? No peanut butter and jelly sandwich today?
Maher Water, 888-796-2437.
It was a Christmas snowstorm.
My whole leg swelled up. My doctor said to get to the ER immediately. Surgery went well, but then I got billed. I struggled with the VA bureaucracy for months. Then I called Tom Tiffany. 9 days later, the VA paid my bill. The doctor saved my leg, Tom saved me from medical debt, and he got me my veteran benefits when no one else could.
I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
This is Ford Truck Month, with big offers on the trucks that don't subscribe to the word impossible. Like the off-road ready Ranger, the adaptable Maverick, plus F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, featuring the 2024 Ford F-150, and Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year, all with offers that make owning one possible. This is Ford Truck Month. Choose FlexBuy on F-150 and get 1.9 APR financing for 66 months, plus 2,000 FlexBuy and 1,000 open bonus cash. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you're all having a great night out there for tonight. We have a little bit of a drizzle in town now, so we are starting to see a little bit of precipitation. Temperatures right now right around 53 degrees here in town with a southwest breeze right around 7 miles per hour. Dew points still pretty dry even with that rain in town, right around 30 degrees. And that high pressure is now replacing that front as it continues to push through the area. Highs today got into those low 60s here in town, 61 degrees. Saw that in Eagle River and Minocqua as well. Lots of low 60s here in the Northwoods for today. A little bit warmer down south, not by much. We saw mid-60s down by Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids, and Wapaka, all around 65 degrees for their high today. Going into tonight, that front is going to keep those mostly cloudy skies around, so they'll help us keep a little bit of above average for temperatures for tonight, right around 43 degrees here in town. You can see even warmer temperatures around those mid-40s for tonight in surrounding areas. A little bit colder downtown because that front is going to clear through a little bit faster, leaving them with some clearer skies. So they could be into the low 40s, maybe even upper 30s in our southern viewing area. Going into tomorrow, though, warmer temperatures are going to stay in the southern viewing area into those upper 50s, maybe even low 60s. We'll see right around the mid 50s here in town. We're expecting lots of sun. There could be some temperatures in the low 50s, though, up in the northern portion of our viewing area, where it's that cool pocket of air is going to be sitting at. Hopefully right around the mid 50s here in town, where we are seeing a little bit warmer temperatures going into the southern viewing area. But the temperature trend shows that we are going to get a little bit cooler going into Saturday. A high of only 52 degrees, but then that warm-up starts Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday. Tuesday, a high right around 72 degrees. Cold front will be approaching right after that. Bring us back down to the upper 50s on Wednesday and only the upper 40s on Thursday. So some cooler weather is ahead. As we take a look outside right now, we've got a little bit of a drizzle right now. That rain is starting to move in. The heavier rain is definitely down by Wausau. They're getting a little bit of rumbles of thunder. There's still a little bit of energy left where the stronger, heavy rainfall is at. So maybe a lightning strike or two down there right now. But other than that, everything is deteriorating. This system is going to move through, not drop too much rain in the Northwoods for tonight. We'll leave some clouds overnight. That's why those lows are going to be warm. But going into tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see clear skies, lots of sun, and some temperatures right around the mid-50s. And throughout the week, we'll have northwest winds bringing some dry, cooler air and some clouds looking like into the area by Saturday night. But for tonight, we got rain showers in the area. Not dropping too much rain. That's what we want, is a little bit more rain to help all those drought conditions, and winds only right around 5 miles per hour, low around 42 degrees. Going into tomorrow, mostly sunny and breezy out there, gusting around 20 miles per hour from the northwest with a high of 56 degrees. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress. We have a warm-up coming. We're going to get it back into those 70s by Tuesday. Another front after that, dropping us back into the upper 50s and even upper 40s by Thursday. Jessica?
Thanks, Chase. The leaves are falling and the daylight hours are shrinking. This can start to cause changes in mood for some people. Newswatch 12's Austin Carisu spoke to a local nurse practitioner to learn more about seasonal affective disorder.
According to the American Psychiatric Association, approximately 5% of adults in the United States experience seasonal affective disorder. Symptoms typically last 4 to 5 months each year, from late fall to early spring.
It is more common in the northern states, and that has a lot to do with our circadian rhythm. So our sleep-wake cycle, the light that we get, especially in the morning.
Some symptoms of SAD can include feelings of hopelessness, decreased energy, and changes in sleep or appetite. Some of the best ways to combat SAD is to spend time in the sun.
Eating right, finding an outdoor activity that is enjoyable to you. Running outdoors, or, you know, they have fat tire biking, all those sorts of things that will keep you active.
While it might not be entirely possible for everyone to be able to spend some time of the day outdoors, Shaw said the purchase of a light box can still be beneficial to combating SAD.
The thing with that is you want to use it in the first hour after you wake up in the morning. You can use it later in the day, but getting that first hour, or getting the light in the first hour, is going to be the most help.
Reporting for Newswatch 12, I'm Austin Carisu.
Great tips. Thank you, Austin. The CDC has updated its guidance concerning pneumococcal vaccines. The CDC now recommends that adults receive their first shots at age 50 instead of 65 years old. That change comes after a panel of advisors for the CDC voted 14-1 to lower the minimum age. The guidance is widely heeded by doctors and prompts health insurers to pay for recommended shots. You'll only need to take the shot once to protect against pneumococcus bacteria, which can cause pneumonia, meningitis, and other serious illnesses. Every year, the U.S. sees about 30,000 cases of invasive pneumococcal disease. There is plenty of playoff volleyball action in the area tonight. We'll have highlights from around our area after the break.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
We love celebrating fall at Traders. Our clothing boutique has expanded. More room for unique boots, clothing, and jewelry. Family owned and operated for more than 30 years. You can always find something you'll love at Traders in Anago.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world. Prepare for glory. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra heavy-duty Denali models. That's over $5,300 in average finance savings.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show. This weekend only inside the Central Wisconsin Convention and Expo Center, Rothschild. Millions in inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail. So save thousands. Save big on new hot tub spas and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show. This weekend only inside the Central Wisconsin Convention and Expo Center, Rothschild. Visit 800spasale.com.
Welcome to Land O'Lakes, Serenity at the top of Wisconsin.
Stay with us at the Gateway Lodge in Land O'Lakes. Relax in our indoor pool, delicious dinners, and the coziest lounge in town. Come back to tradition at the historical Gateway Lodge.
Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Tammy Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde knows that. But he's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything, including falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today, we'll be joined by Forest County Humane Society for another edition of Homeward Bound.
And a nice weekend on the way. What will the temperatures be? Morning tune in on your Friday from 5 to 7 a.m.
The WIAA boys soccer playoffs are off and running. Medford took on Lakeland Union in Minocqua. The Raiders were winless before defeating Anago in their first win of the year. Great time for it as playoffs begin. Now they needed another big win, taking on the top-seeded T-Birds on the road. So let's see if Medford could pull off the shocker or if Lakeland Union would advance. We start in the first half. T-Birds on the attack. Marshall Holmquist's shot gets blocked, but Connor Erickson is there for the rebound. He's going to fire a shot, but it is brought in by Cale Schultz, and we are scoreless after the first half. Let's go to the second half. Same story. Still 0-0. Dominic Caranelia sends it into the box. Holmquist going to get his shot tipped, and it's going to go just over the net to keep this thing scoreless. 2 minutes left in regulation. Still tied. Last chance for the Birds to win it in regulation, but Schultz is going to fall on it. Lakeland Union would end up scoring twice in extra time, and the T-Birds would advance, winning 2-0. So let's take a look at some other WIAA regional boys soccer matches from teams in our area. First off, Rhinelander took to the road traveling to New London, and the Hodag season comes to an end at the hands of the Bulldogs. They fell 4-1. Next, Three Lakes. They were on the road. Their season also came to an end. It came to an end at the hands of Barron, who beat Three Lakes 3-0. The WIAA volleyball regional semifinals took place all across the state. We start in Division 4 as the Leona Wabeno Rebels, champions of the Northern Lakes Conference, took on Schwamigan, who was fresh off of a round 1 victory and looking to pull the upset on the top-seeded Rebels. Leona Wabeno, they come out of the gate swinging. They are going to set the middle, and Makia Marvin is going to put this one away for the Rebel kill. It was number 7 on one end. Now it's number 7 on the other side. Ella Weinberger going to wipe the Rebel block. This one is going to fall in for an Eagles point. Back comes Leona Wabeno. Nice set here. They go to the outside. Izzy Pop going to take care of the rest. This one finds the floor for another kill. Now it is set point for Leona Wabeno, and Bryn Yeager is going to push this one over. It's not coming back. Set Rebels, match Rebels. They go on to win this one 3-0. From Wabeno up to Three Lakes Wasaki, taking on the Blue Jays. Second set. Three Lakes going to set the outside, and it is a kill for the Jays. Couple of points later, Kiera Bowman with the serve. That's going to be an ace. We're going to give the serve an A, and we're going to give the celebration an A+. Blue Jays are rolling. Now it's set point, and they are going to set Kaylin Fogarty on the outside. She's going to put this one and the second set away for the Jays. Let's go to the third match point, and after the serve, it is not coming back. Three Lakes, they would go on to win this one 3-0. Here are some other volleyball scores from around the area. 4 teams on here got sweeps at home. First off, Newman Catholic took down Oneida Nation 3-0. Phillips swept Crivets 3-0. Next, Wapaka ended Anago's season beating the Red Robins in 3. And Medford's season came to an end falling to Altoona 3-0 on the road. We'll be right back after the break.
Get the best tire prices, period, during the Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Up to $200 back by online or mail-in rebate on a select set of 4 Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. Through November 1st at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
At Lakeside Living Design, we've always got something stylish in store for you. Whether you're looking for high-quality custom upholstery, decorative accessories and gifts, or are designing your space entirely from scratch, you'll have a friendly designer by your side, sharing their expertise, helping you bring your unique style to life. So stop by, explore our showroom, and together we'll make your space feel just like home.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line.
Oh, I can taste fire!
When victory alone isn't enough, you keep dreaming and go beyond what's possible. The Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Part of our most rugged lineup yet.
I'm sick and tired of getting ripped off by career politicians. And Tammy Baldwin, she's one of the worst. Baldwin's in bed with Wall Street. While she sleeps in her girlfriend's $1 million condo in New York City, Wisconsin families are getting hammered by high inflation and handouts for illegal immigrants. Tammy and her girlfriend are living large while Wisconsin families foot the bill. Frankly, it's time for Tammy Baldwin to go.
I'm Eric Huffey, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Saturday, October 26th, the Wisconsin Department of Justice is holding a free prescription drug and sharps take-back event. If you have unused or unwanted medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, vials, or pet medication, clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't let your old medication fall into the wrong hands by disposing of the medications properly. For more information on locations and accepted items, go to doseofrealitywi.gov. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Forest, Vilas, and Oneida County.
Today, it's even harder for the middle class.
And Yilin Zhang will only make things worse. A government takeover of healthcare, eliminating private health insurance, defunding police. And career politician Zhang loves increasing your taxes. As supervisor and school board member, Zhang increased your property tax bill, all while increasing his own pay on your dime, too. Yilin Zhang's destructive policies are making things
even harder for the middle class.
Come on, Zhang is just wrong for Wausau.
The Factory Direct Tire event at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service has the best tire prices, period. Through November 1st, get up to $200 back by online or mail-in rebate on a select set of 4 Goodyear tires when you use the Goodyear credit card. Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
A piece of circus history was uncovered during a business renovation in Durand, Wisconsin nearly a decade ago. In 2015, Ron Berger was renovating the Corral Bar and Riverside Grill in Durand with the goal of adding a banquet room. Nearly the second he went to work, something caught his eye.
I'm going to cut this doorway through and run into this buffalo charging at me all the time. What the heck is under here? Because we had no idea.
The bar owner came across artwork that was 55 feet long and 9 feet high and 140 years old. As he tore down more of the wall, he discovered the buffalo was part of a hidden circus billboard from August 17, 1885. The circus had elephants, giraffes, lions, even sea creatures allegedly. Orton's circus performers likely put the giant poster on the side of the building for all to see. It took Berger and 2 others 2 years to fully restore that poster. A local church is hosting its annual Halloween celebration this weekend. Calvary Baptist Church in Rhinelander is hosting a family fun alternative to the spookier side of the holiday for kids of all ages to engage in some positive Halloween fun.
On Saturday, October 26th, here in the Calvary Baptist Church parking lot, we'll be having Trunk or Treat. Trunk or Treat's designed for all the kids in the community to come and see some amazing decorated trunks. It's a positive, family-friendly event. There's no monsters or nothing scary at all, and it is going to be a fun time.
The event is taking place on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. or until the candy runs out. We'll be right back.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Be whisked away to warmer days ahead during Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa's Sun-Kissed Holiday Escape. With your play, earn entries for a chance to win a vacation package of your dreams. Also, rewards play and cash prizes. There will be multiple winners each drawing date. Participate on select days for hourly hot seat drawings of $100 in rewards play. It's the Sun-Kissed Holiday Escape at Ho Chunk Gaming Nakusa. Your place to play.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Ace. You overdid it on the loaded fries, and now your gut is in the gutter. Undo it with Pepto Fast Melts, so you can keep on rolling. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto-Bismol.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
ELM Repair in Edgar is a family-owned and operated full-service diesel repair shop. From pickups to semi-trucks to heavy equipment and RV service. If it runs on diesel, we can repair it. Want more power and better mileage? Our experienced professionals will get your truck running and at peak performance. With a state-of-the-art dyno and fully stocked parts department, we can even come out to you with our 24-hour mobile repair service. ELM is always looking for passionate and talented people to join our team. The Diesel Doctor have it done right the first time at ELM Repair.
Phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected, which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Welcome back, everybody. We can see the front is here. We got a little bit of a drizzle in town. Hopefully we get a little bit more rainfall to help out those drought conditions. Definitely some nice heavy rainfall down by Wausau and a little bit of lightning still in there. So if you hear a rumble of thunder too, it is going to come to an end soon as this system is still losing energy as we go throughout the night for tonight. Going into tomorrow, though, 56 degrees and mostly sunny out there with a northwest breeze. Going cooling off in the Saturday as well. But then we have that warm up coming, getting up to the 70s on Tuesday. A front will follow that with only upper 50s on Wednesday and upper 40s on Thursday.
Well, at least it looks like it's dry tomorrow, which is good for all the football games.
Be dry.
Yes,
we need a little bit of rain.
It's slowly becoming fall, slowly, but those 50s, I saw a 40 in there,
and
too.
with 70, you know, just when you think it's over,
yeah,
back.
That's right.
Thanks, Chase. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
Get an 11% rebate on your bathroom remodel now at Menards. Create your dream bathroom with Sterling tubs and showers. They'll fit your style and budget and are easy to clean. Get this ensemble shower for only $669.99 after rebate. Check out our great selection of over 100 Magic Woods vanities. These high-quality vanities add a unique style and functional storage. This Haverhill vanity is $328.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
When I was 27, I was diagnosed with MS. That's life-altering news. I had to prioritize my health and start taking medication. Back then, these cost $6,000 a year. Now the generics cost 5 times that. Senator Baldwin claims she's fighting to lower drug prices, but she's taking millions from Big Pharma and works for them. I'm not taking their money. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'll fight the corruption and lower drug prices because I've lived it.
25 years in D.C. can change a person. Take Tammy Baldwin. Decades ago, she focused on Wisconsin. Today, she's just too extreme. Baldwin's record, nearly $1 billion for criminals in prison, including the Boston Marathon bomber, forcing Wisconsin women's domestic violence shelters to admit biological men, and supporting sex change surgeries for minor children. We thought we knew Tammy Baldwin, but she's changed. She's too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde owns a $3 billion California bank. That's right, he owns it.
And a $7 million mansion on the beach.
Eric Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax breaks for rich guys just like him.
And to pay for it, Hovde would cut Social Security by 28%.
Slash Medicare 25%.
And veterans benefits 40%.
Outrageous. Now we know what's wrong with Eric Hovde. This guy is not for us.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I grew up on a dairy farm. I run a small business and waitress to make ends meet. I'm running for Congress because I'm tired of politicians who look down on people who work for a living. Like Derek Van Orden. He told someone, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman. And worse, he supports a total abortion ban even if a woman's been raped or her life is on the line. I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message because Derek Van Orden serves himself, and I'll serve you.
Remember when Hillary Clinton called you a deplorable?
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Well, Tammy Baldwin hates you too.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob.